Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the motion. Many colleagues here have spoken about a turbulent world, great power contests, technology disruption. From Singapore's early days, we have known these dangers. We have always and often been caught, sometimes by ourselves, as an improbable nation, a little red dot. These labels emphasize our vulnerability: too small to matter, too exposed to survive alone, too young to develop deep roots. Yet, these weaknesses force us to build deeper foundations. Large nations can afford divisions, we cannot. Large nations can tolerate institutional decay, we cannot. Large nations can indulge in identity politics, we cannot. Our vulnerability has become our vigilance, and our constraints become our discipline. And from this foundation, something remarkable has emerged. As we began a new chapter under our fourth Prime Minister, even amidst a dangerous world, we have a basis for optimism that is often overlooked. We have quietly emerged as a civilizational state, rare among small nations, born not of design, but of decisions under pressure. Like the Venetian Republic of old, small in territory, immense in influence, because Venice knew what it stood for. Venice proved that civilizational depth does not require vast lands. Singapore, too, carries this potential. We are more than a flag and an anthem. Our institutions are trusted, our common purpose and values are clear. We possess the cultural maturity and sovereign worldview to set our own compass, and in this dangerous age where others fracture, we unite. When others doubt, we build. Therefore, let us build on this new source of strength, the quiet stature of an emerging civilizational state, small on the map, large in mind and spirit. To tap on this strength, we can tell our story better, harness technology's disruption, keep life affordable, and expand our capacity for care. Let me outline how we can do these four things. 1. Tell our stories better. If Singapore is a ship, our media is the rudder that allows us to reflect together to steer our collective destiny. And our culture is our ballast, keeping us steady through choppy waters. To tell our story better, we must do four things. 1. Double down on our investments in the newsroom, even as media companies face declining revenues. Yes, AI can write prose and automate workflows, but journalism is fundamentally about human connections, reporters engaging in people and uncovering stories that matter. And we're not just maintaining standards, we're polishing diamonds. Taobao is already one of the most respected Chinese media globally, and CNA commands credibility far beyond our shores. With strategic investments, can we position Business Times as the Financial Times of Southeast Asia? In the era where great powers project not just hard power but influence, our media is our best vehicle for soft power, offering an authentic Singapore perspective to the world. 2. We need to build the generational divide by connecting our youths to our media and culture. For without this connection, our cultural future dims. Fortunately, I can see green shoots emerging. Taobao's recent partnership with a Chinese media company, they are the creators of this web novel turned drama, hit drama series called Yu Qingnian, which is a fantastic drama series. This partnership has generated, I was told, tens of thousands of entries from all over the world, including from Singapore and the region. Media called Superstar and SPH Xin Guangxia are discovering new voices and new lyrics that speak to our people. To accelerate this, I hope our government can consider funding media clubs in schools, in every school, dedicate a part of our national news section to youth journalists so that they can shape national conversations directly. This two-way bridge helps our media feel the pulse of our younger generation while also nurturing future newsmakers. Third, we should refresh and extend the Singapore story. Past cultural icons like Liang Wenfu, and Stephanie Sun has shaped our identity with minimum government support. For SG60, I hope we can launch a decade-long program bringing together our brightest cultural minds, people like Bo Junfang, Yo Xiu Hua, and Wong Ka-chun. Give them the resources and access to our ecosystem to write the next chapter of our story. Because we should think about the consequences of letting our cultural development languish. In 10 years' time, will we accept our identity being shaped by the occasional Netflix drama done by a foreign content creator? Will we be comfortable if we let others, including those of an agenda, decide what to amplify or diminish about our Singapore culture? 4, we should prepare Singaporeans for a contested information landscape. We should mandate media literacy modules in JCs and tertiary institutes so that all Singaporeans, before they reach adulthood, are aware of this. In my view, we should enforce MOH guidelines on healthy social media consumption for our youth. This isn't tilting at windmills. It's about giving our youth the headspace to resist the instant gratification loops. We should also require social media to surface more societal content, helping citizens break free of filter bubbles. Because we should also count the cost of inaction. Without further decisive action, our youth mental health will continue to be affected. Algorithms, not us, will shape our collective consciousness. Most of all, when one is drowned in a news feed personalized to the eye, and the eye here means the eye defined by the shortest possible attention span, what space are we leaving to build a we-first society? My next point is harnessing creative destruction. Yes, we all know that AI-driven disruptions are both creating opportunities and challenges. The US experience is instructive. Large media companies are shedding jobs, yes, that's true, but AI is also making custom digitalization affordable for many industries and smaller companies, work that was previously too expensive. Now, this displays technology talent don't just disappear. They diffuse into other industries and bring with them the skills with them to spark broader productivity, and Singapore should seize on this opportunity as well. How do we start? First, government must lead. While private companies shed tech jobs, we should accelerate digitization instead. Hire young IT graduates to supercharge ministries with AI, prototype solutions, and help companies cut costs. In short, we should transform job disruption into an opportunity. Second, spread tech talents across industries. As tech giants slim down, mid-sized companies can now afford customized AI solutions. So we should incentivize, especially mid-sized system integrators in selected industries, to hire young graduates who are mastering AI to digitize those untouched sectors. 3, we should reskill and retool our education system. Now, we all know that in this age, tech talent needs 3 things: a deep understanding of system architecture, business knowledge, and AI coding ability. Now, it means our senior project managers must relearn coding to be able to harness AI effectively. Our universities and polytechnics must provide tech students with business class and technology and industry projects. And we must try hard to create pivot programs for tech students and recent graduates into high demand areas such as AI development and cybersecurity. And finally, we must prepare for broader waves. Tech is just the beginning. AI automation will spread everywhere, be it self-driving vehicles or delivery robots. Now, the Skill Future Level Up program is excellent because we are not just having deeper training, but cost of living subsidies. Now, for our people with limited financial buffers but are committed to reskilling, can we consider enhancing it with optional loan and insurance moratorium so they can plunge ahead with conviction and confidence? This will ensure that disruption does not lead to distress. 3, keep homes and daily lives within reach. I welcome the brisk pace of BTO constructions. Adding supply will moderate resale pressure. With more homes coming, we should be able to expand both access and affordability. I hope we can consider raising income ceilings for high-achieving Singaporeans with limited intergenerational wealth, and also allow Singaporeans married to foreigners, older applicants from private estates, and singles to access not just larger BTOs, to larger BTOs and not just resale flats. I hope we can also consider lowering the singles eligibility age by 2 years. These aren't concessions. We should recognize that diverse family structures deserve equal dignity in housing. But affordability extends beyond the flat. It is the daily cost of living in our daily lives. Now, we all know that coffee shop prices where it is now leads to high rental rates. And I hope that the government can intervene directly. Let's consider targeted purchases of surrounding shops and converting them into government-owned community canteens. We can call it 人民食堂. We are talking about low-cost spaces, tended to operators who committed to fair price and quality meals. And I believe that we just need a limited number of them, perhaps 20 or 30 sites throughout Singapore, and I believe that this will do much to taper excessive coffee shop prices. My final point is about enlarging our circle of care. Our people's capacity for compassion has grown. A good example is how global crises such as the plight of civilians in Gaza has moved Singaporeans across all races and faith to help. One of my community volunteers is Ashik, and he serves as the Executive Director of Mercy Relief. He shared with me that they have raised $1 million from Singaporeans to benefit 350,000 civilians with food, medical supplies, and water. In fact, they are preparing for 4 more projects in Gaza and West Bank. And our government also mirrors this empathy as they have airdrop supplies and convenes the HADR Response Conference, the Humanitarian Assistance Disaster Response Conference, which I've attended over the last few years. And I saw how SAF brought together militaries and VWOs to respond faster when crisis strikes. So this example shows how the hearts of Singaporeans have expanded beyond our shores. I hope that the same expansive spirit must also transform care at home in Singapore in 3 ways. I hope we can strengthen our oral care. Dental health remains an area of improvement in our otherwise excellent healthcare system. Let's consider creating a healthier SG dental plan by working with private sector dental clinics. 2, we must accelerate a nation-wide rollout of affordable assisted living for our seniors. For many of our seniors, our current senior care model assumes binary choices, either full independence with live-in help or institutional care. But the reality is a lot messier. Therefore, I hope we can quickly conclude our learnings from the pilot that's going on about assisted shared resources for assisted living and scale it nationwide. 3, fight animal cruelty. How we treat the voiceless reveals our values. As cruelty report rises, we must respond decisively, strengthen penalties and give agencies resources for swift action. And I'll follow up subsequent debates with detailed proposal. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, these 4 ideas show that even as a small nation, we should not be a price taker amidst global currents. We can set our own course. Many countries struggle to be more than a flag and an anthem. United in name, divided in purpose. Singapore chose differently. We have developed the habits of a civilizational state, institutions that keep faith, a culture that renews, a people who holds together. We often associate such a depth with large nations like France, yet size is not destiny. Like Venice once did, Singapore shows that a small state can carry a civilization. It is who we are. Now let us choose it openly. In this dangerous age, we choose not to remain quiet, not to play safe, not to settle, but to be who we are meant to be. So let us set our compass, build our institution, and live our culture. We're more than a shining red dot, more than an economic miracle, more than the sum of all constraints. We are a nation that knows itself, and in knowing itself, shape our destiny. Thank you.